We will be covering some very, very important topics in this video. Let's take a listen at this one first.
And they're also using all the material that they would have used in the Pride Parade to carpet bomb civilian areas of Rafah. But here's the point. All of the fireworks and stuff are directly being shot at babies' faces who are homophobic and should go. Because, by the way, you know that's the whole thing they're doing over there.
Yeah.
Where they go, if like they just bombed a school, and Israel's got to stop doing this all the time. Every now and then, when I grew up, Israel would bomb a school every now and then, and people would go, oh, it was not all the time. Now they're doing it too much, and it's making people upset. When I grew up, it was a nice thing. Every now and then, never a nice thing, but every now and then it would be like, you wouldn't know what Israel was doing. And they'd go, Israel just bombed a school. And you'd go, huh. It was rare. Now they're doing it so much, and if you go, this might be a lot, and I support them and their right to exist, but this seems to be every human rights organization in the world, every country, everybody's going, this is, guys, please. Even America, even Biden is going, guys, please. And the response to maybe let's not bomb these refugee camps is, do you know what Hamas does to gay people and women?
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, come on.
Yeah, that's not, yeah, but you're killing people.
You're killing children.
Yeah, and women.
And women.
Yeah, a lot of them. A lot.
We got to figure out a way.
More than you're killing terrorists.
Yeah, we got to figure out a way to make this, a better situation.
Joe Rogan, this is not the first time he is calling out Israel and its atrocities in Gaza, but also in the past he raised his voice many, many times. Obviously, in this video, it was very, very interesting because they point out something that we have never thought about before. For example, what they said about LGBTQ. Israel is now trying to win the PR from LGBTQ community because LGBTQ, they are now pro-Palestinian. They're noticing it. Israel is noticing it. So now they have this flag of LGBTQ in Israel. They are trying to change some of the color combination of it, but Israel is definitely eyeing to have LGBTQ community supporter rally behind them. Obviously, Joe Rogan, again, as I said, he is lashing out at them. He's absolutely very, very clear with what he said, and that is that, guys, Israel, what they're doing, they're killing children, they're killing innocent people. Now, obviously, when we talk about this whole thing, including Israel and their policies, we also want to take a look at this particular news, what is happening with the BRICS countries. So BRICS countries, they refuse now to sign a Ukraine peace summit declaration. What I want you to understand here from this news is one thing and one thing only, and that is that, guys, look at how Russia has become so powerful. Russia alone is able to influence these whole narratives thanks to them building this BRICS nation, this community of BRICS. They are now having much more, vociferously saying what they believe about international politics, whether it is whether it is Ukraine, whether it is about even Israel and Palestine. In fact, there is a report now that said Russia, they are preparing for war against Israel. They are sending ships, they're sending weapons to Iran, to Hezbollah. They are sending all kind of armories to this anti-Israel entities in the Middle East. And therefore, we see it is actually very, very true. Russia is now exerting a lot of influence over these nations, over these countries, thanks to having them building this BRICS countries, this bloc that is now having this huge impact on international politics. And when it comes to Ukraine, you can see clearly that the entire narrative is being controlled by Russia and Russia only. And we have also seen why that is happening. Well, NATO chief, he is now so afraid of China and Russia. Let's take a listen to what he has to say about it.
For both North America and Europe, if we start to be divided, and especially in a world where we are afraid of not only Russia, but also the security consequences of China for our security. As I said, of course, NATO is good for European security, but NATO is also very good for US security. The United States is big, but it's not that big. it's 25% of world GDP. If you add all NATO allies, we are 50%, twice as big. That matters.
Okay, so again, the NATO chief, he pointed out a few things. Number one is that they are obviously afraid of China and Russia. And number two thing we also pointed out is that US, yes, they have GDP of 25%, but then again, European countries, the NATO members, they have 50% of GDP. So is he trying to distance himself and NATO from US and their influence? I don't know. But NATO, all of these countries, they're getting fed up with US. And when Donald Trump wins, as he promised, he's going to stop any supply, financial supply to these NATO countries. China and Russia, they're becoming even more powerful, and China is now backing Russia 100% in public. China says it's ready to ensure global security together with Russia. This was not the rhetoric coming from China in the past. They have slowly but surely mixed with Russia. They're making this new friendship with Russia that is quite what US they don't want to see. In the past, US would threaten China with sanctions and this and that. If you go to Russia, if you support Ukraine war and you support Russia, this is the consequence you will face. But now what China is saying, that they're ready to ensure global security together with Russia, means China is seeing their relationship with Russia as the superpower of our time. Obviously, Russia also backed Chinese claim and Chinese position over Taiwan, and so they are feeding each other with everything they need to feed each other for their strength to become even more powerful. So Russia now, as I said, becoming very, very powerful. Now President Putin to visit North Korea tomorrow to meet with Kim Jong-un. This is Putin's first trip, guys, first trip to the country in more than 2 decades. In more than 2 decades means he was waiting for it for a very long time, and now Russia sees North Korea as a very, very good opportunity, because North Korea, they supplied some weapon to Russia when they're fighting, they're fighting Ukraine. Russia is, in other words, benefiting from North Korean military and their expertise. So Russia now believes that for them to win war, not just against Ukraine, but future war against European countries like Poland, even in the States, and some other adversaries they have in the region in Europe, they must have North Korea, their backing, their military, their support. So Putin is making it absolutely clear. This is not a friendship of economic ties. This is a military tie. This is the friendship that Russia did to taste what North Korea has in their arsenal, to have more access to North Korean military arsenal and see what they are made up of, and so he can utilize. He's a very, very smart guy. Putin is a very, very smart guy. Once he knows that there is a technology that North Korea is using, I'm sure he will have his eye on that, and North Korea at the same time will have no problem sharing that with Russia, sharing that with Iran, with anybody, whoever will oppose US and their presence in the region. And I think the final blow that came to the whole situation is most likely from Saudi Arabia against Israel, making it absolutely clear that they are not going to be supporting Israel and their solution, what they see with Gaza, without that there should be two-state solution. Now, do not make a mistake. Do not be so naive thinking that these are all Saudi's own foreign policy. Yes, they are parroting their policies, and they're doing it on behalf of China and Russia. Saudi Arabia doesn't see, in other words, any future with US. They have I think the petrodollar agreement is not going to be renewed, and therefore Saudi Arabia is looking for somebody else other than United States, and that is China and Russia. Now they're obviously saying the exact same thing as China and Russia is saying about Palestine and Israel issue, which is that no, we are not going to normalize ties with you guys unless there is two-state solution, and two-state solution for Israel is something impossible. They will never do it, and therefore, in other words, Saudi Arabia will never normalize their ties with Israel and with the Netanyahu government. Something very, very interesting happening, guys. Joe Rogan, starting with his topic, obviously the European countries, people who are doing podcasting, who are in the talk shows, they are helping the students. They're helping people, people who do not have knowledge about foreign policy, what is happening in the Middle East, what is happening with China, Russia. These kind of talk shows, they're obviously helping people to wake up, to understand that U.S. is nothing but very, very hypocritical in all of the things that they have parroted to their own people. And the people of the states, they need to wake up and see the reality and the corruption of their own country for them.